In the book of Judges 4, we are told about the story of Sisera, who Israel was fighting against. At that point in time, Deborah was Israel's judge. Was judges Israel. Anyways, Deborah was Israel's judge. It was the time where they had judges. I'm going to zoom in this episode to the woman I'll be talking about, which no, it's not Deborah, is actually Jael. And I'll read. So they were chasing. Of course, they were fighting with Israel. God had already given these people victory, but now they're running out as per the normal way of war. So Sisera was actually running. In fact, they had even killed Sisera's warriors. So he was running for his life. Eh, God is with these people. Oh, let me run for my life. So I read from verse 17, Judges 4. Meanwhile, Sisera ran to the tent of Jael, the wife of Heber, Canaanites, because of Heber's family, because of Kenite's family, because of anyways, it's a little bit of distraction, but let's get back on track. Okay, so meanwhile, Sisera ran to the tent of Jael, the wife of Heber the Kenite, because of Heber's family was on friendly terms with King of Jabel, King Jabi of Azor. Jael went out to meet Sisera and said to him, "Come into my tent, sir. Come in, don't be afraid." So he went into her tent and she covered him with a blanket. "Please give me some water," he says. "I'm thirsty." So she gave him some milk from a leather bag and covered him again. "Stand at the door of the tent." If it told her, "If anybody comes and asks you if there is anyone here, say no, there's nobody here," because like you already know, you need to read from the beginning of Judges 4 to see context, okay, to understand how he was running the war and everything, and even before Judges 4. But when Sisera fell asleep from exhaustion, Jael quietly crept up to him with a hammer and tent peg in her hand, and she drove the tent peg through his temple into the ground, so he died. Wow. When Barak came looking for Sisera, Jael went out to meet him. She said, "Come, and I will show you the man you are looking for." So he followed her into the tent and found Sisera lying dead, with the tent peg through his temple. So on that day, Israel saw God defeat Jabin, the Canaanite king, and from that time on, Israel became stronger and stronger against King Jabin until they finally destroyed him. What a woman. And this woman is the creativity for me. So the temple is this part of the head, okay? Is this part of the head. And what she did was when he was sleeping, she put the nail and hammered it, through maybe it's not nail they were using, but nail pretty much, and then hammered it through the head. And that was how, so yeah, hammer and a tent peg, and then so it entered through, like the Bible tells us, and okay, into the temple, into the ground. Does it mean it was lying down? Anyway, that's not really lying on the ground. It's not That's not really important for this conversation, although those are things I like to know personally. So yeah, but the most important thing is she was creative in skilling him gone safe. I have to add that. But why I'm speaking about Jael is because the thing that Jael did was powerful. Okay. What she did was very powerful and is one that, of course, is now recorded in history, as you now read. But a lot of times, the people who are homemakers, the people who the assignment in their lives is really to be home, take care of the children, and take care of the neighbors' children, they feel very small. And so, with this example of Jael and many other examples that we'll see across the Bible, you've got to understand. And by the way, a song was created. Deborah sang a song for her, which is you can find in the book of Judges 5. You have to understand, back to what I was saying in the very it should be the fifth episode, the part about the spotlight effect. You've got to understand that when you stay in your place of design, God is going to make a name for himself through your life. And that is what look at Jael was just in a tent and she has a whole song. She has a whole impact part in the Bible. If Jael had left that her tent, and we can liken it to her house, her home, if she had left 1 minute before Caesarea came, she would not even be in the book of histories because she has missed a moment. So the reason why you are not making impact, or you think you may not making, because you continue to walk up and down. Can you stay in one place? Can you stay where God has instructed you to stay? And can you be comfortable there, no matter how dry you think it may be, no matter how quiet you think it may be, no matter how invisible you think it may be? Because the walking up and down, the jumping up and down is also part of the reason why they're not fit find you when an opportunity comes, because you're not in your place of design. So you think that impact is when you jump around, but no, you need to be stayed in and grounded in your place of design and what it is that God needs you. Do you remember what I said in the fifth episode, the spotlight effect, about God creating opportunities for you? It will come and find you. But are you staying where you need to stay? Some people are busy changing companies, changing churches, changing communities, changing all of this. And there's time to change it if God has asked you to. But sometimes God has not asked you to. You're just using your naked. They're just like, this church, they are not balling. It's not giving. It's not giving. And you go away, walk out of God's destiny because the church is not giving. And you think that the one that is giving is the one that you would finally make it in. So you bend your way, you struggle your way, and you end up with church hurt and church injury because that's not where God needs you to be. In some cases, I'm not saying all cases, you can be in the right church and then you have church hurt and you have to deal with that, even though it's still the right place. Understand what I'm saying? So please, the whole essence of this and why I needed to use Jael, I wanted to use an unpopular example, but I especially wanted to use an example that resonates with women who think that what they are doing is not big enough, but they have not gotten any instruction with other people. For some people, it's not even that they are stay-at-home moms. It could be that their kind of work is a work where they are working with someone, assisting other people. You're a team member. You just think, and this is especially for team members too. You just think about the background. Who knows me? Who will know me? You don't know. You need to stay where God has placed you, and you need to ask for time to be sure that you are staying where He has placed you, how He wants you to place you. How he wants you to be placed. Because it's one thing to stay in the way where God has placed you. It's another thing to stay how He wants you to stay. And just like Jael, you are going to be able to receive God's spotlight. You're going to receive an opportunity. One thing is that God is just and He's always going to prepare that opportunity for His children. The question is, are you positioned according to His pattern? Are you positioned according to His pattern? So think about this and make sure that you practice it, put it into practice. I'm Signal, and you can join Wondiva Global Community to continue to get such insights like this and connect with other women that are on the journey of seeing themselves the way God sees them and patterning their lives according to pattern. Reach out to us on WhatsApp 234 in front if you're outside of Nigeria, 0808-777-6755. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure that you do not miss out on next week's episode. Meanwhile, you want to make sure that you are watching episodes that you may have missed. Don't forget to share this. Thank you.